This video is sponsored by Squarespace. How's it going, guys? Vincent here from thecreativedojo.net. Welcome to another video tutorial. In this video, I want to share with you guys a really neat, cool, and free plugin. Yes, I said free plugin for After Effects, and it's called Animation Composer by Mr. Horace. And it's kind of hard to believe that this plugin is actually free to use and download. So once you've installed the plugin, go ahead and go into After Effects, go to the window menu, and to access the plugin, go ahead and select the Animation Composer window, and a new window will pop up, and this is essentially the main hub, the effects hub for Animation Composer. Now, Animation Composer is a plugin that allows you to quickly apply really robust, customizable, dynamic, and very powerful, expressions, transitions, effects, and easing types to your motion graphic elements. This is very handy, and rather than pasting expressions from text files and play around with the graph editor and stuff like that, this will make your life a lot easier if you have a lot of elements to animate. And this is just one of those must-have tools for every motion designer, and I would highly recommend this tool. So let's go and take a look at what this is all about here. So this is the Animation Composer window, and this is where you're going to find all your effects. Everything's stored right here, and it has a nice little preview area right here. So for an example, if I go into the 2D layer transformations, you can go into the the position, rotation, and scale. And just preview one of these presets, you can see that we have this really nice preview to show us what exactly this effect or transition does. So we have the overshoot, something like to be very hard to do by manually keyframing or using expressions and such like that. So this is just a nice way of doing it very quickly. So we have a lot of nice previews. We have scaling types here. We have the bounce stuff like this, overshoot stuff, a lot of overshoot, a lot of easing stuff, which is essential for secondary animation and such like that. We have stuff for 2D text. We can fade things in. We have a lot of text transitions here for 2D and 3D text based on animation of lines and words for the text layers. We also have as well as effects, so we can apply effects to certain layers such as blurs and stuff like this, kind of a dreamy look. We have stuff like warp, which will kind of warp your layers around like that. Really quick little wiggle stuff going on here. Position, scale. So we have this nice little bouncing animation, really useful for character animation sometimes if you're doing some kind of cartoon kind of animation going on. Stuff like this. Very handy. And let's check out one more, the position and rotation. We have this kind of bouncing animation. And of course, this is all customizable, as you'll see in a second here. So this is just a quick run through of this, window here. Essentially, you have all these effects and transitions, all with the free version of Animation Composer. Now, there are a lot more packs available, so you can actually download and install additional packs for, a tiny little cost. You can buy more packs here on the website, and you can actually install them, and you'll have a lot more effects and transitions to work with in Animation Composer, and they're very affordable as well. So. But I think the free pack is already sufficient enough for a lot of people's uses, at least to get started with it. And so let's go and take a look at how to use this guy here. So let's go and take a look at my scene real quick. In my scene, I just have this laptop element with a lot of shape layers here. And to animate this and make it look very interesting, it would take quite a long time. If you were on a tight deadline, go ahead and download Animation Composer. We can choose a transition that we like. I'm going to go for the position, rotation, and scale overshoot, this one right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and select a single layer. Now, this only works for a single layer at a time, but you'll see a workaround for that in a second. So select one layer and go ahead and apply the overshoot to the in transition. So you can apply an in transition, and you can actually stack multiple in transitions to combine the effects. And I'm also going to drag the overshoot to the out transition. So this way we have the same animation in and out. And as you can see, it created some markers for us, and that will control the timing of these effects here. So what that did was it applied these transitions for the in and out transition of this single layer. So as you can see in the effects controls, we can adjust a few of these parameters right here. We can adjust, the position, what side does it come in from, the angle, the bounce, how much bounce do we want, and such like that. And you can control that for the in and the out. And once you're done customizing it, let's say you want to apply all that to everything, go ahead and select the layer, hit copy, select the rest of the layers that you want to apply it to, and go ahead and hit paste. And that will apply all the animations or the transitions that we applied to the first layer to all the layers here. And as you can see, we have all these markers now. And if we just do a quick preview, you can see that we get this really, really nice animation. It comes in, it comes out very quickly, and we didn't have to do any keyframes at all. Now, let's say that you had some keyframes already. It's not a problem for Animation Composer. Pretty much what it does is it, keeps the same keyframe values, but it adds to it. So for an example, if we had keyframes, it would just add this transition to those parameters already. So it wouldn't necessarily screw up your keyframes per se, depending on what you're doing. So it's very, very smart, and it's very well thought out. And as you can see, we can create a really dynamic and very interesting animation very quickly without much time at all here with all the elements going on right here. So it works very, very well. And of course, you can do a lot of customizations in the effects controls because everything has sliders and such like that. And you can mix and match. You can stack effects on top of each other to create interesting animations very quickly. I also want to show you guys a really quick example of some text animations here. We can go into the 2D text here. Let's go and take a look at just one of these examples here. We'll just do the lines by lines. And we can do a position scale. And the really great thing about this is that you can actually just preview everything, based on this little preview window here. So it's very, very handy to see what you need or what you want here. So you know what, we can go with this this one right here. We'll apply it. Well, first of all, let's go and select our layers first and apply it to the in transition. And then for the out transition, let's go ahead and apply this one here. And just take a look at what's going on here. And if we do a quick RAM preview, you can see what that does here. It kind of just slides in and then slides out based on these two preset transitions that we created. And, it's very, very easy to do and very handy if you had a lot of text layers here. Now, before I go into more detail about how to customize the timing of these things, I want to go ahead and thank our sponsors over at Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. Squarespace is the place to be if you want to create an amazing website, whether it's for your store, business, or online portfolio. They have tons of professionally designed templates and beautiful, gorgeous themes for you to choose from for your website design, all customizable. They have a very easy to use page builder, which allows you to pretty much customize and create your pages the way you want it to be very easily without any code. They have tons of extensions that you can use to expand your website's functionality. And best of all, they have a really amazing 24-hour support ready to help you when you need help. And starting from just $8 a month, you can create a very professionally well-designed website very easily using Squarespace. Best of all, if you go to squarespace.com/dojo and use the coupon code DOJO, you can actually save 15% off your order over at Squarespace. So check it out, squarespace.com/dojo, Squarespace. Everything you need to create an exceptional website. So back in After Effects here, let's go and take a look at how to kind of further adjust the timing of these things. So basically how Animation Composer works is that the beginning of your transition is your layer inPoint, or where your layer starts. This is where it's going to begin right from the beginning, the inPoint. And it's going to transition in all the way to the transition in marker here. So at the transition in marker, that is where your transition in stops. So it goes from the inPoint to the marker, the first marker here. And of course, you can always just drag the markers around and adjust the timing that way. But it's kind of hard to do if you have a lot of layers or markers like I do right here. So the folks over at Mr. Horse actually made a tool for this. And so let's go and select all of our layers here that we want to adjust. And this is also another free tool that comes with Animation Composer here. And it's called the Animation Composer Animation Shifter. And it does exactly what you think it does. So for an example, the shift in transition is going to shift the endpoints inwards a little bit along with the markers here. So for an example, if I just pull this forward, it's going to shift the endpoints and the transition in markers to the right a little bit, such as this. There's a few other options. For an example, we can just move the markers itself, the end markers. So we can just shift the markers here, move them over here, or we can move the in and out markers. We can move just the out markers, so on and so forth here. And we also have options to, where to align it. Do you want to align it, where the time indicator is, so on and so forth, or the out transition markers, how do you want to align it? And this is just a handy little tool that will allow you to, shift your animations and, get the timing that you want very quickly using this little tool here with Animation Composer. So this is just a really handy little script. I highly recommend it for motion graphics designer. It's very, very handy. And best of all, it's free. So, you don't have to pay anything. Really, really great plugin. Check it out, Animation Composer. All the links will be down below in the description. By the way, if you guys were curious on how I created the long shadow effects right here, the effect was created using my buddy Mikey's preset over at CinemaSpice called long shadows, and essentially allows you to create really nice long shadows like this very easily using an After Effects preset. So check it out. Link will be in the description or article down below. And also, if you guys use a lot of shape layers, whether you want to separate shape layers from Illustrator or, break apart shape layers or combine shape layers together and manage them easier, like what I did here, this is actually just one original shape layer that I exploded to many different little elements here and merged certain elements together for this kind of animation. If you want to know how to do this really quickly using a script, check out my friend Zack Lovatt's Explode Shape Layer script. Very, very cool script that allows you to manage shape layers very, very easily, which is how I think After Effects should do it by default. But, this is a really cool script. Again, all the details will be down below, so check it out. That's pretty much it, guys. My name is Vincent Wynn from the Creative Dojo, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.